what you have and reach out to those who need your help. It is time to join our hands for the people oppressed by the Erdogan regime. Together, we can grow hope. Advocates of Silence Turkey Fundraising. Join, make a change.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you so much
and reach out to those who
joining us
your
tonight.
help.
Oh, we still had our video playing. It's the power of the video. Still reminding us to stand up, to take action, to give a voice to the voiceless, which is what we are doing here tonight. So I'm Reverend Kelly Isola, and I'll say more about me later. But mostly we want to thank you for joining us tonight. This is a powerful evening we're going to spend together. It is our Giving Tuesday virtual fundraising night for Advocates of Silence Turkey. And we have all kinds of guest speakers and some music and just amazing people that are doing exactly what the video said. So who is Advocates of Silence Turkey? Advocates of Silence Turkey is a nonprofit organization, a 501c3, registered in the United States. And since July of 2016, the Turkish government has wrongly imprisoned hundreds and thousands of people, homemakers and teachers, NGO workers, academics, judges, prosecutors, journalists, pick anybody, simply because of their affiliation with the Gulen movement. It's also known as Hizmet. There was a time when the Republic of Turkey was praised around the world for being a powerful model for democracy. However, in this new Turkey, people are being silenced because they've spoken out against the regime's oppressive and brutal laws. It is now, there's entirely too many human rights violations that are going on silently. So we're here to give a voice to that. There's mass incarceration. There are frequent violations of human rights. And sadly, those violations have become the norm in Turkey. In the current Turkish regime led by Erdogan, which ranks as the worst upholder of the rule of law and universal human rights in Eastern Europe and Central Asia, there have been 187 media outlets have been shut down. 308 journalists are political prisoners of the state. Since the failed coup attempt in July 15th of 2016, human rights in this new Turkey have literally been stripped away, and most of the world doesn't even know it. Respect for human dignity, respect for human life in this new Turkey is absent. So Advocates of Silence Turkey is a group of lawyers and judges and academics and journalists and hundreds of thousands of activists who cherish and hold deeply the democratic ideals of Hizmet and universal human rights for everyone. We are prisoners of conscience wanted by Erdogan's regime, relatives of political prisoners, and many victims who have lost their jobs, their property, family members to the current administration, which is rightfully described as a mafia state. We are the Advocates of Silence Turkey. We are here to give voice to the voiceless, and I know everyone knows how to do that. We at the Advocates of Silence Turkey have made it our mission to champion the rights of everyone silenced until all universal human rights and a democratic governance are established and sustained as the utmost priorities, as the top priorities of the Republic of Turkey.
Yeah, so we're going to start our event with introducing ourselves, your MCs tonight. My colleague Kelly and I are going to moderate tonight's event. I'm Hafsa Girdap, and I'm the Executive Director and spokesperson of AST, Advocates of Silence Turkey. I'm also doing my PhD right now at Women's and Gender Studies at New York Stony Brook University. So that's me, Kelly.
And I'm Kelly Isola. I'm also Reverend Kelly Isola. I do an enormous amount of interfaith work. I've been very active in interfaith and intercultural work for 25 years. Here, I'm in Kansas City, Missouri area, and I'm chair of the Greater Kansas City Interfaith Council. I chair the Missouri Interfaith Disaster Response Organization. I give my time to Advocates of Silence Turkey, to the Dialogue Institute. I do a lot of things. And one of my most favorite things is this, what we're doing tonight is I can't say it strong enough, the giving voice to the voiceless.
Yeah.
So we're going to start the fundraising event tonight with an AST video. We're all going to have a chance to see what AST is about, because you can't do it in 10 seconds. Even in the short video, it doesn't say it all, but you'll get to learn a little bit about what AST is doing and how we can each take action. We're going to have, I think, 14 or 15 speakers from different parts of Europe and the United States. All of our guests are going to express their own insight and their ideas regarding what AST does and why it's so important. And so here's our first video.
Turkey, AST is a nonprofit NGO that aims to raise awareness on the intense and systematic human rights violations that have been taking place in Turkey recently. Its reference in human rights is shaped by international agreements starting from Universal Declaration of Human Rights. According to these agreements, humans have certain rights that are fundamental, inalienable, and universal. Protection of these rights creates the very basis of freedom, security, and justice. AST was founded by a group of academics, journalists, legal experts, and civil society volunteers with a firm belief in these rights to disclose the unprecedented corruption of power in Turkey and the victims it created. On the one side, AST is raising awareness on the human rights violations committed by the Erdogan regime among the international society. On the other side, it is getting involved in the legal processes of the victims in a pro bono and active manner. The AST documents the ongoing victimizations and shares them with the decision makers and general public. In this regard, 13 books, 34 reports, 91 videos, 33 exhibitions, 86 legal applications, and many other concrete accomplishments have been already made by the AST family. You can reach out to AST over its phone number, website, or social media accounts and ask for help, participate in the activities, and contribute. The AST prepares comprehensive reports on human rights violations and shares them with the United Nations, European Council, and European Court of Human Rights, all of which Turkey is a party to. Extending its outreach to human rights committees of the national parliaments, the AST is committed to be the voice of the voiceless. It also provides legal guidance for individual applications to European Court of Human Rights and other institutions to compensate for the violations with the mindset better late than never. The obligation to protect our rights lies with us. This is why we're here, and together we're stronger.
Sorry, I'm muted. Now let me introduce you to the Vice President of Advocates of Silence Turkey, Sayed Önal, for his welcoming speech. Sayed Önal serves on the board of directors of AST as the Vice President. He's also on the board of several organizations, including the Cultural Center of Pennsylvania, of which he is the president, and member of the board of World Affairs Council of Harrisburg. He's an active volunteer and defender of human rights, freedoms, and the rule of law. Mr. Önal, welcome to this meaningful event, virtual event, and it's your turn. Floor is yours. But I guess I have to unmute you. Oh, you're here.
Well, I was able to do it. Thank you so much for the introduction and for the hard work on behalf of many innocent lives. I appreciate that. Myself and many others are looking at what you guys do at AST and be very, very proud of you. Thank you for the opportunity being here with our friends and hope this is going to be a nice evening of finding out many things that we were not maybe aware of. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, has said, "Whosoever of you sees an evil action, let him change it with his hand. And if he is not able to do so, then with his tongue. And if he is not able to do so, then with his heart. And that is the weakest of faith." Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly, said Martin Luther King Jr. Dear friends, admirable supporters of human life and defenders of human rights, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to welcome you to the Giving Tuesday virtual fundraising for Advocates of Silence Turkey. We are all gathered here to honor human life and the freedoms it comes with. We are here to be the voice of the voiceless. Scripture calls all followers of Jesus to imitate him in word and deed. Sometimes that means doing more than feeding the hungry and clothing the naked. It requires us to truly give voice to the voiceless, to speak out for those who have not yet had an opportunity to develop their own voice, to be present in places where they have no representation, or to walk alongside the voiceless to empower them to speak for themselves. Today, we are together to walk alongside with our brothers and sisters in Turkey. Turkey is a long-time ally of the United States of America and a democratic country, what we knew, but made a huge U-turn from the rule of law and basic human rights in the last few years. Under the state of emergency imposed after the July 2016 attempted coup, many decrees adopted contained measures that undermine human rights safeguards and conflict with Turkey's international human rights obligations. The human rights violations struck hundreds of thousands of people, from arbitrary deprivation of the right to work, the freedom of movement, to torture and other ill treatment, arbitrary detentions, and infringements of the rights to freedom of association and expression. Those dismissed from their jobs lost their income, social benefits, medical insurance, and even their homes. Additionally, with more than 850 children under the age of 6 in jails across Turkey with their mothers detained or arrested as part of the government crackdown. Overseas operations to capture perceived political opponents, and the number of journalists in jail, Turkey, unfortunately, has become the top country in human rights abuses. Not long ago, I was one of the many Turkish Americans speaking highly of our beloved Turkey, the economic developments and growth, educational reforms, and positive attempts to reach to Western standards in its democracy. Today, in the new Turkey, we are looking at a very depressed picture and looking for ways to help many persecuted innocent lives to save them from this tyranny. All advancements and the gain is lost with loss of rule of law and human rights in Turkey. This is too sudden and too dangerous of a change in direction of the country. Advocates of Silence Turkey is working day and night with its hundreds of volunteers from all kinds of backgrounds, colors, and religions, and walk of life to help to be the voice of the voiceless. You will hear from many great speakers this evening. My good friends, Thomas Sideris from Greece, Attorney Craig Shagan in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Dr. Nuray Yurt, and many, many more heroes and heroines will speak. I know each one of us this evening will really look deep into our hearts and support these initiatives by Advocates of Silence Turkey. Today, we need you to help with your hand and with your words and with your heart, with a prayer for the return of democracy, rule of law, and respect of human rights in Turkey. Thank you for your friendship and generosity to make a donation to support many great projects that you will hear more about it this evening in upcoming months by Advocates of Silence Turkey team of supporters of human rights. You already are making a difference by being here this evening. Your support means a lot in terms of raising awareness and taking action in the international arena to stop this persecution and these harsh human rights violations. And I want to thank you again for being here, supporting with any means possible to help us to let people know what is really happening in Turkey. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Mr. Ronald. Thank you for all the efforts that you've been doing in this, meaningful event and cause. Thank you. Have a great evening. And now we are going to Athens, Greece. We are going to Europe to meet with Mr. Thomas Sideris, a journalist who recently directed the documentary The River. July 28, 2020 was the virtual launch of The River, the documentary. It's a film about the growing refugee crisis and with scenes from the refugee camps. Let's listen to him together.
Hello, I'm Thomas Sideris. I'm a journalist and a film director. The Hizmet movement is a social movement. It has a very rich offer. I know it not only in Turkey, but all over the world. However, the Turkish regime targeted it, especially after July 2015 coup. Many people were imprisoned. In fact, tens of thousands lost their jobs and accused of being terrorists. The Turkish regime carried out a ruthless pogrom against its citizens. This whole situation against the members of the Hizmet movement is a serious violation of human rights. I'm not just talking about tortures or imprisonments. The Turkish regime removed from these people the right to think and speak freely. From my heart, I would like to speak to all these people to be strong and stable to their ideas and human values. Please, stay strong. Thank you very much.
Well, we want to thank Thomas very much for participating in our event. You can actually catch a little bit about that movie, The River, that his documentary, you can go to YouTube. And now, so we send our blessings to Thomas, to Greece. If you'll notice, if you hang with us tonight, you'll notice we're hopping the globe. So we have a map of the world behind us because we're moving around. And so now we're going to continue our program. We're going to go to Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, right in the middle of the United States. And we're going to talk to Father Shelby Scott, he has been at the church that he's at, and I've just already lost the name of it, but in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma for 25 years. Father Scott is married to Rebecca, and together they have 4 grown children scattered across the country. My mother could probably commiserate with your wife. They're avid sailors and enjoy riding bikes. And I understand you've published a book of poetry, Gather Up the Fragments, which speaks of the holy in everyday life. So good evening and welcome. How are you?
Very well. Thank you very much. It's a privilege to share this evening with you and to share my thoughts about those who are silenced in Turkey. It's fair to ask, why would human rights in Turkey be a concern to a Christian pastor in Oklahoma out here in the middle of the United States? Well, in my faith tradition, we make a vow to God and to the community that we will do all in our power to respect the dignity of every human being. And so when the dignity of any human is under attack, when someone's being falsely accused or disenfranchised, then it's a core conviction that we should not just pray, but act. And to do all in our power to be agents of reconciliation, to restore people to equal status. I know it'd be easy for the current leadership in Turkey to challenge me, to ask, why would anyone in Oklahoma have the moral high ground to condemn their actions? Well, I joined this struggle not from being morally superior, Now, I advocate for those who are silenced in Turkey because I have seen firsthand the devastation and generational hurt caused when vulnerable people are marginalized. Oklahoma has a painful history when 100 years ago, people in power took wealth, falsely imprisoned those who disagreed or challenged them, and used force against its own citizens. That sin and evil perpetrated at that time is still impacting the city in which I live. And any study of history would show that only weak leaders resort to lies and steal freedoms. Governments which squelch the press and squelch movements like Hizmet, religious leaders, well, such governments are doomed to collapse from within by their own insecurities. To falsely imprison teachers and health workers, academics, that's a move of a desperate tyrant. And to have children detained in prisons as a means of coercion is an evil which we cannot ignore, nor shall we abide. Our hope is that we will recognize that we are all connected as people of faith. The bonds of our common humanity make it imperative that the whole world bring whatever pressure we can for change and reconciliation. The future of Turkey as a free and prosperous country depends upon it. Now, your brothers and sisters here in Oklahoma recognize that you suffer in silence, but we are not whole. We will not have peace until our friends in Turkey have regained their God-given rights. Our shared commitment to faith convicts us to act and to give. And love, which is the source of all, love compels us to speak and to share in this suffering with you. And that's why I'm here to share this evening. Thank you for allowing me.
Thank you. I loved the very opening line of, so what does Turkey have to do with those of us at St. Patrick's Church in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma? And that was a wonderful line for each of us to hold, that wherever we're sitting, you know, what does that have to do with what's going on far away? What about in my own backyard? So very powerful words.
Yeah, and I would like to thank him, Reverend Scott, for his, attendance in this program. It was great to hear from him. So 2 weeks ago, as AST, we organized a song contest called Songs Sung for the Oppressed. I was, afraid to pronounce that correctly. Songs Sung for the Oppressed, to raise awareness about Turkey's ongoing human rights violations. With the power of art, AST aims to bring the persecution and dire human rights violations taking place in Turkey to the attention of the international human rights community, as well as to the attention of you here tonight. Don't Forget Me is the name of the song that took the first place in this competition. And this rap style song was played by Berkush from Belgium. Berkush is a college student and his major is information and technology. Let's listen to his song together.
Dünya düzenini mahvetti ve de gözlerimiz hep kasvetli. Ruhlarımız özgürken bizim bebeklerimizi hapsetti. Batan güneşle doğduk biz, kim korkacağımızı zannetti. İstediğini dayatabilirsin ama biz unutmayacağız Ahmet'i. İçimdekileri biriktiriyorum artık, haksızlıklar her yerde. Ümidim korkumdan büyük, bugün çare vardır be her derde. Düşünceye kelepçe işlemez asla, susturamazsınız tekmeyle. Fay hattında gibiyiz nasıl oluyorsa, adalet yok olmuş depremde. Medya ve basının gözleri kapalı, 3 maymun oynar ülkemde. Kimseyi doyuramayan paraları var, bu yüzden saraylar gündemde. Dedim ki Berkus dinlenme, maalesef bu bir gerçek ama hala çok acı çekiyorum günlerce. Şarkımız her yerde dinlenecek, önümüze seriyorlar engelleri. Pes etme sakın hiç düşsen de, güç buluyorum hep sizlerle. Geçmişimi tanırım izlerden, diktanın zulmüne boyun eğemem ben barışlı türküler isterken. Din dil ırk gibi kompleksim yok, özür diliyorum sizlerden. Unutmayın beni, eşitlik ve özgürlük için verdiğimiz hiçbir savaşı unutmayın. Unutmayın ki en güzel mirası biz bırakalım yarınlara. Farklı olanı sevebilmeyi, yaşatmak için ölebilmeyi bırakalım onlara. Nedensizce gülmeyi, çocukları da güldürmeyi bırakalım onlara. Her şeyi geride bırakalım, güzel günleri ileride. Unutmayın beni, sevdiklerimle, kaybettiklerimle, dünyaya dair umutlarımla. Unutmayın beni. Ben insanım, zorlarım yolları kollarım herkesi kucaklamaz. Ben insanım, caniyim, katilim, faniyim, duramam suç atmadan. Ben insanım, maalesef güçlüyüm, her şeyi öldürüp duraksamam. Ben insanım, bak şimdi vahşiyim, adiyim, bel bağlarım hep tuzaklara. Olamadım buna hiç uygun, unutuluyorken oradaki Uygur. Kalmadı huzur, kurallar uydur, medyayı sustur, kalpleri boştur ya. Atılan filizler doğdu bak, cahiller beni de yordu ah. Kalemimiz kılıçtan keskin, bu yüzden gözlerinde hep korku var. İçimdekileri sana dökmek istiyorum, barış istediniz ama denemediniz. Bunu yapacak dünyanızda da kalamıyorum. Firavun'un ordusuyla yenemediniz. Benim mülteci, sağcı ve solcu bir yol bulup herkesi bir sınıfa eklediniz. George Floyd gibi direnirim size karşı, boynumda taşırım ben herkesimi. Bir yanda onların altın tahtı, bir yanda beyaz bir sandalye. Sürgün hayatı yaşıyorum artık, Ahmet Kaya beni anlar ya. Kötü günler gelir geçer elbet, yeter ki dostum sen sabret. Güzel günler düşlüyorum, barışta artık tek gaye.
That was wonderful. You know, and I didn't know there was even going to be subtitles. So that made it even more powerful. And then to connect, you know, like George Floyd and other things around the world. Yeah, don't forget me. Don't forget me.
You know what I feel? I feel that the power of art that we feel here, and also the energy of the youth. Do you feel the same?
Yes, I just got goosebumps all over me.
Oh.
I do. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And don't forget me. And you know, that's a huge part of our message. We're, you know, giving voice to the voiceless, and this is a fundraiser tonight, and giving, you know, of our time, you know, of our talent, and giving of our treasure is a way to say you're not forgotten. We haven't forgotten you, right? And if you want to connect with Advocates of Silence Turkey, you can go to their social media. So go to Facebook, Advocates of Silence Turkey, and you can connect there. Right on YouTube, you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel. They're on Instagram. So go and connect with AST on social media. It's another way to say, I haven't forgotten you. I haven't forgotten you. It's really powerful. I think most of us.
Your words touched me now specifically because of someone who is jailed, who has been jailed for a long time, a very young journalist, Ayşenur. I just recalled her words. She once told all the international, you know, arena, human rights arena, that I don't want to be forgotten here.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. I really can't. So we want to remind you that AST has been organizing different types of events since it was established. So like, you know, what you see with art and music and all different kinds of projects. And we're going to talk a little bit more about them as the evening goes on. But because AST is a nonprofit organization, your donations are tax deductible, and it's your donations that allow us to continue shining this light on political prisoners and the torture and the deprivation of these fundamental human rights, the violations against innocent women and babies and the elderly in prisons, the disabled. All of your donations are necessary. And it is, what I tell people is we give in love because we love to give. And so when our gifts are given from our heart, from a place of Hizmet, they are just expanded exponentially. So if you'd like to donate now, you can find the donation link below on the screen. And I think we have some graphics there to share around, I think, do we have our donations up to this point that have been shared?
No, not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
As soon as we got them, we'll share, okay?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm watching the little pictures on the screen, and so that people can see. And we will talk a little bit later, a couple times about the specific projects. So exactly where your donation is going.
Mm-hmm.
It gives a voice in a lot of different ways. So now we're going to talk for a couple minutes with Laura Light. And Laura lives here in Kansas City, where I live. And she's going to talk a little bit about, just for a few minutes, about the hundreds of children who've been jailed in Turkey. Children in jail. Since July 2016, hundreds of children have been jailed with their mothers, and others have been separated from their parents. And if there is one baby born in a Turkish prison, it's one too many, but sadly, there are many babies being born in Turkish prisons. So Laura is involved in intercultural and interfaith activities that are sponsored by the Dialogue Institute of Kansas City. She's an advisory board member for we have a local AST chapter here in Kansas City. She's a Kansas City native, which I didn't know that part, and a certified spiritual director. And she's pursuing a Master of Intercultural Service, Leadership, and Management with an emphasis in peace and justice. She's passionate about making the world a better place. That part I knew. Welcome, Laura.
Thank you so much, Kelly, and good evening, everyone. It's an honor and a privilege to be here with all of you. I'm really glad that I was given the opportunity to speak tonight on behalf of all the people in Turkey who are suffering persecution unfairly. Persecution is always unfair, to be sure, but it's especially heartrending when you think of children and babies in jail with their mothers. Mothers giving birth at home because they're afraid they'll be detained if they go to the hospital. People losing their jobs, people not getting adequate medical care in jail and passing away as a result of neglect. All of these things are just really, really hideous things that we speak out against here, and we take a stand against together. I want to talk a little bit about how I found out about Advocates of Silenced Turkey. The local Turkish community was having food days and inviting people in the Kansas City area to them. And I went to a couple of those events and met the warmest, most hospitable people you could ever hope to meet. And they let us know that, okay, we have these activities, we have this, these sharing events set up, and so started to get more involved, and then all of a sudden found myself invited to celebrate the Muslim holidays at different families' homes, like maybe 4 families in one evening, or a breakfast in the wee hours of the morning. And just having had that experience where people who are complete strangers would open their hearts to me and to others in that way left me so impressed and made me want to give back to this community that has given so much. I'm very, very impressed with the Hizmet movement in general. The people are very kind. They follow good ethics. They're highly educated. Many of them have masters and PhDs, both the women and the men. And they're just really quality people who have a lot of integrity. So I feel humbled and proud to back this organization and to step forward on behalf of all my Turkish friends here in the United States and all of those who are suffering in Turkish jails. It's my hope that through the work of AST, we can get some change going there quickly and spread the word. So I would just urge you to help us out in any way you can. This is an organization of integrity that I am proud to be a part of and happy to put my name on. And I know that if I were in a situation where my human rights were being threatened, I could trust them to step up for me. It starts with Turkey and we go out from there. Thank you.
You know what I was thinking as you were talking, Laura, when you said this is an organization of integrity, and it really reminded me that I thought I was busy. And then, and in working with people of Advocates of Silence Turkey, like I can't keep up, because it really is the feet on the ground. It's not, there's no such thing as lip service. They do exactly what they say. And all the energy is poured into making sure that the world sees this spotlight on the violations of human rights.
Exactly. It's an organization run by volunteers and very capable, intelligent, kind-hearted volunteers at that.
Yes. Thank you, Laura.
Laura, thank you so much for all of your significant words. This is not the first time Laura put herself into human rights matters. She's a strong fighter of justice, and Laura, be sure we'll be by your side, always by your side. Thanks again. And our next guest is Feride, a young lady. Feride Sarıbaş is one of the victims of Turkey purge herself, and she had to leave her hometown, her country. She's in the process of building a new life here in the United States, in New Hampshire, with her parents. And she's currently a freshman graphic design student in Keene State College in New Hampshire. Let's hear her message.
Hello everyone, I'm Feride Sarıbaş. I'm 19 years old. I'm a graphic design student at Keene State College. I'm a daughter of 2 beautiful parents and a sister for my 2 siblings. I have many things to say the least, but there's one thing that I am that is very important for me. I'm a survivor of the Turkey purge. Me and my family left our country, Turkey, in June of 2017. We left our country for the same reason that thousands of other people did: the injustice going on in Turkey. After the so-called coup attempt in 2016, Turkey had become a country where the government would do anything to make your life harder. After the coup attempt, both of my parents had lost their jobs, and we had no money because all of our money was suspended by the Turkish government. After a difficult 1 year without my dad in Turkey, we eventually had the chance to leave our country. It was one of the hardest decisions that we've ever made. However, to live a life, we needed to take off. We chose Bosnia as a transition country and lived there for about 5 months. Eventually, on November 2nd, 2017, we pressed our first steps into our new life in America. Since then, me and my family have been living in New Hampshire. After living in America for about a year, I decided to become an AST volunteer. Initially, I had many different tasks, from gathering weekly news to being a representative in my state. However, later on, being my area of interest, I started illustrating artworks for AST. My most recent project, which was a short graphic novella, was published a couple of months back. I have gone through and know what it's like not to be free. So I am trying my best to be the voice of the ones who aren't free and can't have a voice. I am very lucky and honored to be a part of ASC and see these many people be in the right side of the history. Thank you all very much, and please know that your efforts are very much appreciated. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you very much for that warm message. It is about being on the right side of history, isn't it? So we wish you all success in your studies and your continued advocacy, Faraday. Thank you. Our next guest is Tom Nani, I think, or Nani. I might be butchering your name. He's an attorney and a visiting associate professor at the University of Missouri, Kansas City School of Law. And we're going to listen to him regarding his thoughts and perspectives on the ongoing persecutions in Turkey and the importance of human rights institutions. I think people sometimes can get lost in the emotion, but we want to remember, the power of policy and supporting that. So welcome, Tom.
Thank you for having me. Just a few thoughts. I was first exposed to the Hizmet movement when I traveled to Turkey several years ago and visited a lot of schools that had been initiated and created by the movement, social service activities, politicians who were involved with the movement. And my perception of the story of Turkey is it's really a tragedy. And it's an indication of how fragile the democracy really is and how it can be undermined slowly and then quickly, and what can happen. And the Turks that I've come into contact, refugees here in the U.S. who've made it here, and from other countries whom I've met, the stories are heartbreaking. They're separated from their family. One family I knew, the father was separated from his wife and two small children for a matter of a couple of years, passports canceled. He went from having a very well-paid job in Turkey to just barely surviving in Canada. And only after years was he eventually reunited with his family in Europe after a lot of heartbreak and suffering on both sides. And at this point, they're not able to return, and they're yanked out of their society. And I've met several other groups of refugees from Turkey who are suddenly find themselves in the U.S. and what a struggle, what courage it takes. And it's just heartbreaking. And so organizations like Advocates of Silenced Turkey are so critical in documenting these abuses and keeping these stories, just keeping a record of these stories and bringing attention to these stories and what's going on. I've had opportunity to teach my international human rights course that I taught a few years ago at University of Missouri, Kansas City, about what's been going on in Turkey and efforts of folks to try and reverse the degradation of rights in Turkey. So just the efforts and the risks that people take in Advocates of Silenced Turkey is so crucial into trying to help so many people. So anyway, that's just what I wanted to share.
I didn't realize, I was just introduced to Advocates of Silenced Turkey in the last year, and yeah. I didn't realize, when I went to their website, so if you go to silencedturkey.org, go to the website, and when you start looking at what you were just talking about documenting, documenting the incidences, documenting all of these violations, oh my gosh, if you go to their website, silencedturkey.org, you can read paper after paper after paper of what gets documented is just, it's heart-wrenching, and it's just the work they do. And the
Yeah, and
thousands
it's so
of
important that
hours.
these abuses are documented and not forgotten.
Yes.
And hopefully one day
Yeah.
there will be justice.
Right.
But part of that struggle is documenting and keeping track of
Yes.
all the
Yep.
things that are happening. So
Well, thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you
for
very
having
much
me.
for joining us.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
So where your donations, part of your donations go to helping to document, you know, all thousands of these violations and everything going on. And so I think we have, you can, if you'd like to donate, there are, you know, the donation link is in the chat. Are we gonna, can we show where current donations are at? Do we have that?
Yeah. Abe is just sharing the screen. My friend is just sharing the screen to show. And also you can go and see on the YouTube, you know, comments part, how you could donate. The links are there. My friends are sharing. But now at this point, I want to talk about how AST will use your donations in terms of distributing them to projects. So as you see on the screen, among these projects is Haluk Savaş Social Sciences Academic Award. Haluk Savaş is was one of the dismissed academics who lost his life because of cancer. And through this award, Haluk Savaş Social Sciences Award, we will distribute an estimated amount between $30,000 or $36,000. Additionally, there are 5 short video productions that will approximately cost between $8,000 or $10,000, and 3 short documentaries with a cost of $25,000 and $30,000. We also work on legal applications, you know, through UN, United Nations, or to international commissions or European Court of Human Rights and so on. Whose supposed expense will be around $25,000 and $30,000. Furthermore, 2 huge protests costed us around $14,000. In addition, an international art contest with an amount of around $8,000 or $10,000. And International White Chair Film Festival, about which you'll hear in a few minutes. This festival costs around $18,000, $20,000. And also preparation of 4 books about the victims and victimization, about the persecution, with a cost of $12,000. 3 reports on torture, which is very important, were published, and around $9,000 or $10,000. And finally, there are general expenses, which are approximately costing us $20,000. For now, I think that will be enough, Kelly.
So I want to just remind people that if you're watching on YouTube, there is pinned to the top of the chat is the link to donate, and in the description of the video itself is also a place to for you to donate. I think we also were going to show where our donations are at right now.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I want to show that where we are right now.
Yes, please. Okay. Yeah. I want everyone to know because it's really important. So people know that
it's coming.
Gifts,
sorry, we're the regis, we are the speakers, everything. So it takes time. I'm so sorry.
I know. There we go.
So our goal during this Giving Tuesday week, our goal is to raise $150,000. And as of now, since November 25th, that we just initiated this donation campaign, we have raised I'm very bad at numbers, Kelly.
93,000.
Sorry.
I know, 93,000. So that's fabulous. So yes, and we didn't mention, but the Giving Tuesday event started on November 22nd, and we're running it through December 5th. So our event live tonight is is the, where, we're asking people to donate and click the link and give what you can. And, whatever amount you can give, because all of it gets used to shine a light on the persecution. And so right now, where we are in the course of this 2-week fundraising event is at $93,000.
Yeah.
That's more than halfway there.
Yeah.
I am excited because I know we're going to get to the 150.
Yeah.
I know we can. So there's also, so you talked about all the different ways, all the different projects and how much each of those cost. And it doesn't take long to actually use the money for lots of projects. So we want to thank everyone who has given to date, and know that whatever you've given is already been assigned somewhere, is already at work.
Absolutely.
It doesn't sit around, it's at work.
Yeah.
So since we've been talking about AST's works and projects and documentaries, we want to share a little video about one of their upcoming documentary films. It's called Looking at the Day. So Islam Gunabakan is an academician. That's tongue-tied for me. I know. He's an academic, and he was fired from the university due to his criticism of the Turkish government. He was a member of the ruling party when he was in college, but when he started to criticize the government regarding corruption scandals, he was expelled from the membership. He's one of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of victims who lost their jobs and their status due to his ideas against the government, because he stood up, and at the very beginning, he stood up, gave a voice, and took action. So let's watch his short story.
AK Parti'nin kuruluşundaki işte il gençlik kollarındaki faaliyetlerimiz veya daha sonra işte sendikanın.
Islam Gunabakan is one of those thousands of academics who lost their positions because of their opposition to Erdogan regime in Turkey. In his younger days, he was actually a member of the youth branch of Erdogan's AKP, yet he was dismissed because of his criticism over the intense corruption becoming the daily practice of the regime. Upon being targeted by the regime, he had to flee his country through the river and establish a new life in Germany as an academic, like many others. Details of his story in Looking into Sun.
So if you'd like to know more about AST's works and projects and upcoming events, again, you can subscribe to AST, their social media accounts. They're on Facebook, Advocates of Silence Turkey, Instagram, and here on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. You can get involved and be connected pretty much anywhere. Our next guest is Dr. Nuray Yurt. She is currently a corporate executive for a pharmaceutical company, and she's also the board of president for Peace Islands Institute, a New Jersey-based organization to build bridges between communities. Good evening. How are you?
Great. How are you? Good seeing you too. Thank you.
Welcome, Nuray.
Hey, you guys are doing an amazing job, and I think this is an awesome event. So thank you so much for having me as well.
It's good to see you. So say president for Peace Islands Institute. What is that?
Yeah, so Peace Islands Institute is a dialogue organization that's creating a lot of venues for different, we are based out of New Jersey, and you can imagine New Jersey is such a diverse place. We have a lot of different cultures and faith communities. So we are really motivated to create opportunities for everyone to come together, and we try to find different excuses just to come and listen to each other.
Find different excuses to come and listen to
Exactly.
each other. That's probably not hard to do.
Yeah. Especially with COVID, we did a lot of events online, and I think people are recognizing the value of each other during COVID pandemic. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
And ironically, the pandemic also has allowed us to do more of this.
Yes,
I think has really actually helped shine the light on AST and its projects. And I can help. You know, I can
exactly.
give
And also
money.
keep it diverse, right? Like we have a lot of different friends from everywhere. I mean, as you know, many of my colleagues from Basel, I mean, I work in a company based out of Basel, also was able to donate. So this is a great opportunity for all of us.
Yeah. And to find out all the different ways you can volunteer. Like,
yes.
I don't know
all the events and all the things that needs to be done, right? Sometimes we underestimate the effort. I mean, we all want, and I think some of the previous speakers touched on that, we all want the stories not to be lost because we know this is, human tragedy, and we know this touches to too many people. Historically, we've kind of lived in these circles, but there's a lot of effort that needs to go against them, right? It's not easy just to produce a report. I mean, I think Hafsa did a great job summarizing some of the costs. And this is given that we have a lot of volunteers who are working on them, still the technical costs, the publication costs, and all of that is a lot of effort and energy and resourcing required. So that's why, I mean, I think everybody who donates should know that their dollars are really valued and utilized to the full capability.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And I just want to share something. Thank you so much. I just want to share something which touches me all the time out of Princeton University. I'm sure you know this already, Kelly. Martin Niemöller, who is a pastor, Lutheran pastor from World War II. Whenever I read it, it always touched me, even before all of these events that are happening in Turkey. So I just kind of want to repeat that here for everyone who is joining us, basically. So this is a quote by Martin Niemöller after World War II. So he said, "First they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me." So I just want to share that because it always resonated with me, but especially with everything happening in Turkey, I think it's good to remember this for all of us.
Absolutely. And it reminds me of Father Scott earlier in the program when he said, what does Turkey have to do with us here at St. Patrick's Church in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma?
Exactly.
Well,
exactly.
Everything.
Thank
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
So our program moves on. We're going to head to New York, I believe. We have a video message from Assemblyman Philip Ramos, who's Deputy Majority Leader of New York State Assembly. His family was one of the first Hispanic families to move to Brentwood in 1957. And so he's lived in that community for the past 50 years, which means he absolutely understands what it's like to be like the only one or to be different in a community where everyone else is unlike you or unlike your culture or maybe a different language. As an experienced politician, his ideas and words are very important for us to listen to. So let's hear what he has to say.
Hi, I'm Assemblyman Phil Ramos, and I would like to send out greetings to all my Turkish friends and especially to Silence Turkey, an organization that stands against torture, an organization that stands against oppression, an organization that stands against having political prisoners, and an organization that believes in democracy. The basic principles of our country, United States, are what this movement, what Silence Turkey and other organizations, such as the Hizmet movement, they seek to make a world that is humane. And they want to bring attention to this. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. With the advent of this last election, God willing, we have a new president by the end of January, and that ignites hope. Hope that the new president will not be transactional, as the past president was, and will realize that nothing comes before human rights and doesn't bargain with tyrants. So I think that the things that you're fighting for, having a partner in the White House would allow the world to take note of what is happening there and compliment all your good work. I stand beside you, an organization that has the moral foundation of what it is that you are fighting for. Moral foundation to speak out against what is wrong. A moral foundation that says a democracy where everybody should be included, nobody left out, and nobody should be able to legislate religion is a noble organization, and I stand with you till the end. May God bless you all. Keep up the fight.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So I think we have, I don't think Martha is here yet. Is that correct?
I guess she's not here, so we can skip her, and when she's here, we can go back to her.
Yep. So Sister Martha will join us hopefully at some point. We just want to just thank you. Let's just pause for a moment and say thank you for the message we just heard, for every person that has given tonight, every person that has given since November 22nd. And to remind you that you can connect with AST on just about every Facebook place and every social media place. And there's links to give in the YouTube chat stream.
And Kelly, if you don't mind, before going there, as a New Yorker, I want to thank Assemblyman Phil Ramos, specifically, because, you know, I hope you're watching us, Phil Ramos, Assemblyman Phil Ramos. I want to thank you so much for your support that you do for AST and for the people of Turkey. Oh, we have Martha. Oh, great. Sister Martha, you're here. So, now we're off to San Antonio. Since Sister Martha is here and San Antonio, Texas, Sister Martha and Kirkis is a peace builder and an academician at Theological Union, Berkeley, California. She has been a professor of religious studies. Sorry, this is the technology. So she has been a professor of religious studies and of the arts at University of the Incarnate Word. I hope I'm pronouncing correctly, Incarnate Word, San Antonio, Texas. Teaching over 7,000 students, writing 6 books and visiting 32 countries, often leading students. Oh, that's amazing, Sister Martha. I'm speechless. And she's been the San Antonio Peace Laureate, the Texas Pact Peacemaker of the Year, and recognized in various ways for building interfaith and intercultural bridges. As a Sister of Charity of the Incarnate Word of San Antonio, she serves as the chair of the International Justice, Peace, and Integrity of Creation Committee. Good evening. Welcome, Sister Martha. How are you?
Good evening. Please forgive me for running a little bit late tonight. It is my joy to be here. And I remember in 2006 when I was invited to a friendship dinner, and I had no idea that that was going to open a wonderful chapter of my life as an educator. Now, you have explained a little bit that I've taught 7,000 students over the years, but I want to say that I have taught students of all grade level from first grade through graduate studies. I have supervised student teachers, and then I went on and got a doctorate and worked more in the field of social justice and religious studies. And coming from those fields, I want to speak of the importance of the Hizmet movement, the tremendous amount of good that the Hizmet movement has done in education, in building social justice. So I want to continue that I was first at a friendship dinner in 2006. Then I was invited to an interfaith tour of Turkey. On that first tour, I believe we visited about 8 or 10 schools, and I was extremely impressed as we were in classrooms, as we were seeing teachers in action. And so as someone who has supervised student teachers, I was thinking, this is high quality education. I was also very, very aware that there was a real effort to have high quality education in disadvantaged areas. Now, currently, in the social justice leadership class that I teach, we talk about the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and how important it is that we unite for quality education, that we unite for opportunities for the disadvantaged. And the more we bring up everyone, the better quality of world we have for all. So I want to say that I wrote a book about research in Southeast Turkey, where I saw the Hizmet movement furthering job opportunities, furthering healthcare, furthering education. And I very often make comparisons to the civil rights movement in the United States, because the Hizmet movement was working in a part of Turkey where the average income was 1/10 of the average income in the more privileged parts of Turkey. And you know, I see that in the state of Texas. I see the poorest county in the state of Texas near the Mexican border, where the average person is only making 10% of what people are in affluent movements. So the consistent work of the Hizmet movement helped people get from third grade education through high school, helped high school people get into universities, become professionals in medicine, in education, in science. And over a period of a few decades, the Hizmet movement has been transforming Turkey for social justice. So I think it is critically important that we recognize that an unjust, oppressive government closed schools that have been doing an excellent job building a fair society. The repressive government has arrested university professors, journalists who have been speaking and teaching for a fair society, a peaceful society. Then I had opportunities to follow the Hizmet movement in Iraq. And that has been absolutely amazing, that when so many people were killed in Iraq, the Hizmet movement went in a few years later and compassionately started schools to give good quality education. And they have been teaching different racial groups that would normally be in conflict with each other how to work together, how to cooperate for a better society in Iraq. Now, I know from friends.
If you don't mind, just at that point, I want to ask you something very briefly before going on with the other speakers. Can you just briefly express your opinion and feelings regarding the Hizmet schools, their service, and then after their experience that all the opportunities that they can serve were taken away? How do you feel? How do you elaborate in this situation?
I think it is awful. I think that people all over the world should rally together and say it was destructive for the future to be closing these excellent schools. It is destructive for the future of the world to imprison and oppress high quality teachers. It is destructive for the future of the world to close down Kim Si-Yokmu, that outstanding organization that has taken assistance to places where there is critical need. And so I really urge people to support fundraising, Advocates of Silence Turkey, not just because individuals are imprisoned and suffering, but because these individuals were building a good world for all of us. And they need the freedom to be doing this again, and we need to unite. And there's so many organizations like Amnesty International and other international groups that are saying the injustice for anyone is hurting all of us. This is an important movement.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Sister Martha, for these beautiful words. I hear
Thank you. So I think we do have an update. I think I got a little notice that we had an update on our donations.
Oh, do you want me to share my screen to show that?
I think so. I think we should.
Let's share with our.
Someone sent me a little notice. You know me, I want to know where we're at. How are we doing? It's important.
You got it?
Oh, we're at 95,000. Oh, we're doing good. We're doing good.
No donation is too small. All donations
absolutely.
help.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sister Martha. Okay, I just wanted to check in. I want people to know where we're at, and you know, every dollar that comes in is going right back out again.
I'm hoping that we are gonna get that goal at the end of tonight.
Yes, I would love to see that. So we have an hour and 17 minutes, I think.
Go on, guys.
Go. We're going to go back to some of the arts. We heard earlier the song that Berkush sung, the Don't Forget Me. Now we're going to watch a video of another talented young artist, Miha, who's living in Canada. So now we're hopping to Canada. And his song is called Enough. And it took second place in that songs sung for the oppressed contest that you mentioned earlier, Hafsa. So let's listen to Enough by Miha.
I wouldn't know I'm born a crime. I'm only here 'cause I write. Didn't know it'd be so hard. Didn't know I'd be the bride. Maybe I'm not tall enough. The cell is packed, it's hard to breathe. The lights are out, no food to eat. My mom is sleeping in a room that's full of monsters, and I'm here. Can I see her soon enough? But why is everybody else indifferent? Sipping on coffee and watching it burn. Isn't it way easier to write it out? You and me, we're both alive. You and me can change your life. You can be miles apart, don't worry about it. Our voices will unite. I wonder what it's like to fly. If there's a world beyond the bars. My mama says we have a home atop a hill next to a lake. We'll go there if I smile enough. I have a friend, she's 83. She plays with me and tells me stories. I hope she makes it out alive until the morning she is sick. But they say she's not sick enough. But why is it okay voices will unite. You and me, we can be anything if you believe in it. It's sad to see. You and me, we can be everything if you believe in me. It's sad to see. You and me, we can be anything if you believe in me. It's sad to see. You and me, we can be everything if you believe in me. It's sad to see. You and me, we can be light. You and me, it's sad to see. You can be miles apart, don't worry. Our voices will unite.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wow.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
I'm repeating that. We need more young voices, more.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
we need more donations as well. To
Yes.
continue this work, right?
But and be reminded that every person matters. Really, you do. Every penny, every person, every heart, every voice. Yes.
Yeah, I heard from a very prominent person that I value a lot. He was saying that this is a very big cause, so all the contributions, even with tiny bit contributions, mean a lot. Hugely.
Yes.
Greatly. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It always takes a lot of little things, right, for a solid foundation.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. No?
I'm supposed to remind everybody to connect with us on social media. So yeah, really hit the subscribe on YouTube, hit the subscribe channel, because there's always new videos coming and always information. If you want to know what AST is up to, it's through social media. You can go to their website is too, silenceturkey.org, but find on Facebook, Advocates of Silence Turkey, and on Instagram, and I believe on Twitter, but really subscribe on YouTube and you'll be notified. You won't get inundated. It's not like you're going to fill up and jam up your email box, but if you want to know what's going on and how you can continue to stay connected, and I know that what we talk about and what's going on is so horrific that sometimes it can feel a little bit, heavy. And yet, what you find, when you subscribe to the YouTube channel and when, and in giving a donation and giving of your time is actually, it lifts us up.
Yeah.
That being a volunteer and giving money actually lifts, chemically. We feel like we feel lighter and brighter.
And supporting us will support our work. Who needs that support?
Right.
Double effect. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So our next guest is Dr. Ferhat Öztürk Kelly, and Dr. Öztürk is the spokesperson of Scholars' Rights Watch, which focuses on raising awareness about the persecuted academics in Turkey. And he received his PhD in cellular and molecular biology from the University of Nevada. This is all Spanish to me, Dr. Öztürk. Following the July 15 coup attempt in Turkey in 2016, Dr. Öztürk was among the persecuted academics due to his affiliation with the Gulen movement. Therefore, he immediately returned to the United States. He is currently conducting research projects. He's not stopping. Nobody stops. He's going on conducting research projects at the University of Texas, San Antonio, and also teaching biomedical sciences at the School of Science and Technology. Being a long-term human rights activist, Dr. Öztürk serves at various committees of the Advocates of Silence Turkey. It's a huge job, Dr. Öztürk. Thank you so much for what you do. Welcome. And just, after your dismissal that you were fired, you lost your job, you lost your career, and you're here. You were among the administrative staff at that university. What do you have to say?
First of all, thank you so much. It's an honor to be at this program, and it's an honor to be part of this fundraising program. I am so honored and belong to the Advocates of Silence Turkey. And again, as you have mentioned, as being persecuted in Turkey, my university with 15 other private universities, foundation universities was shut down, and I ended up fleeing the country as soon as possible. So luckily I had my green card before, as I have done my PhD and postdoc in the United States. So I was able to leave the country without being arrested at the airport. Unfortunately, not every of my colleagues was lucky enough. My university's president, Professor Dr. Yunus Bekdemir, so he was jailed and imprisoned for more than 4 years, despite his, degrading health conditions. And so many of my friends and colleagues have been jailed and also lost their jobs. I mean, just to give some numbers, there are more than 8,535 academicians were dismissed in one night. I mean, but in several emergency decrees. And more than 23,000 academicians have lost their jobs in Turkey. And this is a huge number. I mean, more than 15% of the academicians were, furloughed or imprisoned in Turkey. So think about, like, at one night, you lost 15% of the faculty members from Harvard or from Stanford or from University of Texas or from University of California. I mean, think about all these universities, including top 50 universities in Turkey. They lost a huge number of academicians. And then I promised myself, as soon as I arrived here, I promised myself I will be a voice for these persecuted academicians. And luckily in 2017, under the Advocates of Silence Turkey, or AST, we were able to establish Scholars' Right Watch, SRW. So, and since then, SRW has been a voice and raising awareness about the human rights violations against academicians in Turkey, especially focusing on them. So for this purpose, we have created videos, reports, articles, infographics. We wrote letters to the Turkish Justice Departments and United Nations and so many other legal organizations. And we also provided grants, and research projects. We started some research projects about the dire human rights violations or academic violations in Turkey. So, and one of the major reports that we have prepared is the deterioration of higher education, the perils of persecuting academicians in Turkey. And I would like to share my, oops, I cannot share my screen, it looks like. Anyway, so again, there were 15 universities was shut down at one night. And more than 60,000 students, they ended up leaving their universities, and they ended up being transferred to other universities which they did not find their own departments or majors. So those students suffered a lot, but more than that, those academicians, they could not teach anywhere. So, and majority of them has lost their chances to teach again. And some of them were died because of different conditions. Some of them lost their lives in jail, like Professor Sinan Özçetin. And some of them were so productive that one academician from Bosphorus University, he wrote 3 articles when he was in the jail. And right now he's at Harvard University as a postdoc. And so it was for some of the academicians, it's a flip-flop, but their flips has become much more successful. So this is a huge number. And in addition to this one of the famous academicians who were a professor at Gaziantep University in Turkey, Professor Haluk Savaş. Can I share my screen now?
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Okay. So Professor Haluk Savaş was, he was a warrior, to be honest, because he was diagnosed with pancreas cancer while he was in jail. And then after that, as soon as he was released, he looked for a treatment in Germany, but his passport was canceled. And then he fought for his passport through social media, and he got a lot of support from the community. And then eventually, Professor Haluk Savaş, after fighting, and he also established the KHK platform, which is the platform for the people who were lost their jobs after the emergency decrees. So this award is one of the major, this is one of the reasons for this fundraising as well. So there is an award of $30,000 will be awarded to the studies to raise awareness about the dire academic conditions, decline of the academic conditions in Turkey, and also human rights violations. So, and so this will be there will be 5 awards, $2,000 each for PhD dissertations. These awards will be given for a master's thesis and also journal publications, and as well as conferences. So this is one of the major projects of Scholars' Rights Watch under the AST, and your donations to this tonight will be highly appreciated, because this will give us to do the research, a real, I mean, as in the research in the social studies, in journalism, in law, to raise awareness about the human rights violations in Turkey, and then the freedom issues in Turkey. So I believe your donations will help a lot for the future academicians as well as an established academicians. And there was, all these firing these academicians in Turkey, like more than 23,000, it has a cost for Turkey. And I just would like to give a brief number about this cost. So according to the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, so an average an academician costs about $124,000, starting from the primary all the way to the PhD programs. So losing more than 23,000 academicians, Turkey has lost about $1.1 billion of staff or knowledge. So, and then this has cost a lot to the universities, because in the past we have more than 10 universities in top 500 universities in the world, but right now none of the universities in Turkey is in the top 500 universities around the world. So some of the universities lost their rankings more than 300%. So some of the universities, firing more than 20% of their successful academicians. Some of them lost their positions significantly, and they cannot produce any high-ranking journals or like any research anymore. So Turkey is not in the league of the high-ranking academics anymore. So this was a huge loss for Turkey, and it's our job as Scholars' Rights Watch to raise awareness about this. And again, I would like to finalize my talk. Please do make donations and do support the Scholars' Rights Watch and Advocates of Silence Turkey to raise awareness about these persecutions of the academics in Turkey. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Öztürk. Just don't go anywhere. And I want to say something. I see that it's not only you, but on behalf of all other academics, I want to thank you for the efforts that you have been doing to raise awareness, to take action. And I appreciate that you haven't stopped. You are here, but you're going on with the great job, with the great impact on humanity, on this new culture, and to conduct this, scholars. What was that called again?
Scholars' Rights Watch.
Scholars' Rights Watch. To do, to go on with that great job, you need more contributions, as far as I'm concerned, right?
Yeah, we do, and as you know, we are all volunteers. Right now, we have about 10 people on our deck that we work together to create these reports, videos, projects, infographics. And thanks to AST, we have all these like graphic designs, websites, social media, all these things are done voluntarily. So none of the money that comes to AST or SRW will be given to the volunteers. It will just be used for all these projects.
Thank you so much, Dr. Öztürk.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be part of this human rights activism. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I don't know, how it'd be hard to imagine starting life after you've lost everything. For me anyway, here in the US, I don't know that crosses my mind very often. So just pause for a moment and think about that. And, it's the donations that come in also, and work their way out into the world to support people, maybe not necessarily direct, but by raising the awareness and shining a light, it raises everybody. So
I want to admit that I feel really honored to be among these people, those people, you, who are voluntarily trying to do something, not just looking at their lives, trying to establish a new life. Okay, on one hand, everybody is doing that, but on the other hand, they are also struggling with many things just to support who are back in Turkey.
Right.
Yeah, I'm honored.
Yeah. As am I. I'm always humbled, always. So.
Yeah.
We're going to watch a short video. It's a story of two wonderful women, Sanay and Saadet. They had to flee Turkey through the Evros River because of their affiliation with the Hizmet movement. And if they hadn't fled, they would have been sent to Turkish prisons. So they have been living in Greece. So as I said earlier, we're global hopping, right? So now we're hopping back to Greece again. So let's see their video message.
Oops.
I know. You know, we've had a pretty smooth evening, so, you know, it was time for a little hiccup.
Mashallah, but I don't know. It happens.
It was just time for a little hiccup. Oh, here we go.
Yıllarca kitaplardan duyduğumuz, gördüğümüz Atatürk'ün doğduğu şehir Selanik'te yaşıyoruz ve burada butik bir küçücük minicik bir lokantamız var. Değil mi Selda? Türkiye'de öğretmendim. Türkçe öğretmeniyim 12 yıllık. Bir gün evde uzanırken gayet rahat bir şekilde bir telefon geldi ve ülkeyi terk etmem gerektiği söylendi. Ve 2 gün sonra apar topar hazırlanıp çocuklarla beraber kendimi Edirne sınırında buldum. İşim var mıydı? Ha yok, yalnız sadece çocuklar ve ben. Ve çocuklarımla Meriç Nehri'nin kenarına kadar yürüdük. Bir köyden geçerek. Ve bir botu şişirdiler. Fakat bot patlak çıktı. Sonra başka bir botu şişirdiler. O da patlak çıktı. Fakat bir an önce kaçmamız gerekiyordu. Yakalanmamak için. Patlak tarafını, oradaki deliği oğlum eliyle kapattı ve o şekilde karşı kıyıya bir tarafa geçtik. Tabii korku doluydu bizim için. Gece miydi? Gündüzdü. Meriç'in buz gibi sularından böyle hissede. Hatta çocuklar diyor ki anne, işte sen hiç durmadın, sürekli dua okuyordun diyorlar. Hiç durmamışım ama farkında değilim o korkuyla ne yaptığımın. Fakat sapasağlam geçtik ve buralarda ayakta durmaya çalışıyoruz. Bazen hayat insana hiç düşünmediği şeyler yaptırabiliyor. Şu anki yaptığım işte benim hayatım boyunca, Türkiye'deki hayatım boyunca hiç düşünmediğim bir şey, hamur yoğurmak. Hiç yapmadığım bir şey, gördüğünüz gibi biraz da acelelik var. Yoğurtmaya çalışıyorum. Ama pes etmiyoruz tabii ki. Hayat bir mücadeledir. Ben özel kolejde çalışıyordum. Maddi durumumuz gayet iyiydi. Açıkçası bir rezidansta yaşıyorduk. Yani açık havuzu, kapalı havuzu olan bir evde yaşıyorduk. Evime temizlikçi bayan alıyordum. Fakat burada geçen yıl mesela bir lokantanın temizlik işçisi olarak aylarca çalıştım. İnanın her sabah ağlayarak işe gidiyordum. Fakat gidiyordum yani.
Yeah, so powerful, Kelly. Words fail to describe what we have just seen here. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you so much, Şenay Saadet, for what you have been doing, for telling us about your experience, and for this great message. Life is a struggle. I love that. Yeah, everyone, let's take a look at the current situation regarding donations. And while I'm trying to share my screen, why don't you go on to our website to just click on the donate button and to support us to contribute to these great projects. And here, let's see where we are.
Drum roll, please.
Oh, hopes.
Drum roll.
That. Yep. So,
yay!
Yeah, not bad, Kelly.
Oh, not too bad.
Not too bad, yeah. But we can consider, can't we?
What?
We can do better. All
Yes.
people here who are
Well,
watching us can do better, right?
We can always do better.
Yeah, there is no
Yeah.
limit.
More powerful than we know. We are more generous than we know. We are more good-hearted than we know. You know, there's more to us. We always are. If we all knew the power that we hold, the light that each one of us is, the difference you can make. Like, you know, we think, well, I don't know that many people, or I only talk to, you know, it only takes one person. You know, it's just sort of like when you throw a rock into the water and the ripples go.
Yeah, yeah.
It only takes that. So we want to talk about the projects. I know earlier, Hafsa, you mentioned several projects and, you know, the cost for those things, but in a little more detail, just some of what does Advocates of Silenced Turkey do? They have several hundred archives of the persecution of the Hizmet Project. There are papers, well, there you go, right on screen, you can see the papers and infographics. Infographics are like this, what we're looking at is an infographic. And it's putting data into like an image. That's what an infographic is. And they're not, they're very powerful, and they take some work. So Dr. Ozturk was mentioning, you know, graphic designers and people and making all of these things. It takes time and it takes energy, but it makes a huge difference when you can see, you know, information as a graphic, so we can see what they are. So you can see, you know, 49 papers and infographics, 89 legal actions, you know, 86 events, the lectures, the seminars, 155 videos. See, that's why I have to hit subscribe for the YouTube channel. You know, videos and videos on all kinds of different topics, and more on the, you know, including the arts, music and documentaries and things. There have been peaceful protests. There have been vigils. There's I think you're talking about a film festival later, aren't you, Hafsa, I think?
Yeah.
There's flyers and books and booklets and social media campaigns. Everything that we've been doing since November 22nd is a social media campaign. There were hundreds and hundreds of hours that went into, you know, things that got shared across the globe through social media. There are almost 700 volunteers from more than 30 countries. 700. That's mind-boggling. Total volunteer hours have exceeded over 9,000 volunteer hours. There are over 50,000 social media followers. The national and international news coverage organizations is more than 200. In total, there's about a little over 1,400 papers, reports, lectures, events created by Advocates of Silenced Turkey, reaching millions and millions and millions. Almost, you know, pushing 500,000 YouTube views. That's no small feat. That's no small accomplishment. And it's not possible for us to reach, you know, continue to expand all of that and to reach the goals that we have and do the documentaries and do the videos and the events and all of those, you know, documenting every violation and the lectures that go on and the papers that get written. All of that doesn't happen without support from you, from people that are watching, from just anybody and everybody. You know, if there's one person that is silenced, then we all are. You know, Father Scott talked about it at the very beginning of the evening. So we want to thank everybody who has given, absolutely. And we will continue to ask until there are no more voiceless people left. That's probably when we might stop.
Yeah. We can't help but speak up, right, Kelly? Or support the outspoken ones.
Yep.
Yeah. If you want to help people, you are reminded to say something. If you see something, you hear something. To that end, we cheered, we chanted, we wailed, our voices hoarse. We now to turn to pen, pencil, brush, and other media to squeeze out every last word. Art for Freedom is one of the other sub-branches of AST, and the main focus of this branch is to tell the ongoing persecution, ongoing human rights violations via art, via the language of art. Now we are going to watch a video of a collection of some of these artworks. Please note that these works were created by all corners of the world, from artists who wanted not their voices, but their cause to be heard.
Wow, I want to watch that one again. Like I need to watch it again, but slower to see it all. It goes fast.
You can do that on the YouTube channel of AST, Kelly.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Why not? Everybody can do it.
Everybody. Yep. That's right. Yeah, that was good. Goes quick, but wonderful artwork and all different kinds. All different kinds. Yep. You could tell it comes from the heart, the language. Yep, that language of art.
Yeah.
So now we're going to go to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We have our next guest is he's an attorney. I think it's Craig Shagan. Is that how you say it?
That's correct.
Oh my gosh, I got it right. And he's going to talk to us about the injustice against the Hizmet movement and volunteers in Turkey. So how are you this evening, sir?
Well, I'm fine, thank you. And it's been my pleasure and honor to represent a number of Turkish clients who've come from Turkey following July 2016. And I am an immigration lawyer and have represented asylum applicants for, well, about 25 years. Now, what's different, and I think it's important to note about Turkey, is that the persecution that I've witnessed has not only been against individuals, but whole classes of individuals that really attack the institutions of Turkey. So I've represented teachers, many of the people that we've seen tonight, teachers, professors, writers, journalists, prosecutors, judges, military personnel, and others, scientists. The one thing they have in common, aside from the fact that they tend to be accomplished, is they also tend to be people who are exposed to the world, who think, who are creative, who are what a normal society would see as vital to its future. And to see them attacked is tremendously upsetting because the impact is as bad as it is for the individual, and it is extremely bad. It is also very bad for the country as a whole. Many of these people, although not all, would identify themselves as being active participants in the Hizmet movement. Some were teachers at Hizmet schools. Some, however, had no involvement with Hizmet per se, but were just part of the same sort of intellectual class of individuals who would think critically of tyranny. So my experience has been reinforced by everything that I've seen tonight. I can't tell you how many teachers, for instance, I've had who have fled. The impact of this is really, as I say, horrific on the country. There's nothing so valuable when you prepare a asylum case or a case before a court as getting good, accurate information. And some of that, of course, you can get from your client, But in the case of asylum or refugee claims, you also need information about country conditions. And AST's work there is extremely valuable to us because from it we can glean what we need to get the information that can help us present cases to our courts.
Absolutely.
I can't endorse your organization enough and hope that people who care about Turkey and care more broadly about decency will support you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when I said it earlier, if you go to silenceturkey.org and you look at the documents, the amount of information and events and persecutions and just, you know, recording so much, which then, you know, certainly supports you because you're the, you know, everyone needs someone, one person, you know, if you're going to wind up in trial, you know, you're going to wind up in doing battle with the law, you know, you need that.
Persecution is, of course, a term that people gets thrown around a lot. Yeah. And may I just say that what I've seen out of Turkey is horrific, unbelievably cruel. For instance, the arresting of children so that their adult parents can be or will return to Turkey so that they can be arrested. The torturing on TV of individuals, the broadcasting of the violence as a way of controlling and creating silence within the country. The slow destruction of the institutions, or actually the quick destruction of the institutions. You know, arresting the day after the supposed coup, dozens and dozens of judges and people whose lists were already prepared well in advance of the event is something that is just an observer of national tragedies and persecutions. That was an illegal of its own. And I hope you keep accurate records because there will be a reconciliation. And their day is coming when people are going to have to account for what they did in this moment.
Yeah, Dr. Shagin, this is very important because AST is trying to put an effort, not just for the short term to, you know, support the victims of the persecution there or to help them be released, be freed from the jails, but also in the long run, we want the compensations of all this, you know, witch hunt, this persecution. That's very important what you said, and thanks for these important, significant remarks.
Well, I'm pleased to be here, and I wish you the absolute best in your venture because I think it is deeply important, and I'm glad to be able to support it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Shagin.
Have a good night.
You too. And yeah, and now let's keep this great work going on, and that we have Michelle Schimmel, if I'm not mistaken. Michelle Schimmel is a former member of New York State Assembly, and now we are gonna watch the second politician's video message tonight. Let's hear what she has to say.
I'm Michelle Schimmel, former New York State Assemblywoman. I'm honored to stand with the Advocates of Silence Turkey. The Turkish President Erdogan declared in an infamous speech, "Old Turkey no longer exists." What he means is his Turkish authoritarian rule has taken hold. Since 2016, the Turkish government has improperly imprisoned homemakers, teachers, NGO workers, academics, judges, and journalists. When I visited Turkey before its present regime was in power, it was a model for democracy, a beautiful country with beautiful people, a beautiful culture. In Erdogan's new Turkey, there's a loud silence against the regime's mass imprisonment and violations of universal human rights. His regime ranks as the worst upholder of the rule of law in Eastern Europe and Central Asia. Media and outlets have been shut down and over 300 journalists are political prisoners in the state. I stand with all of you who hold democratic ideals and human rights to be sacred. The mission of the Advocates is to champion human rights in Turkey and let democracy flourish once more for the Republic. Won't you help? Your contribution will help the Advocates for Turkey and end the deafening silence that pervades all of Turkey. Thank you for listening.
I love her passion.
Yeah, very concisely, very
Yes.
yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, and won't you give a voice to the voiceless? And as Mr. Shagan said, it doesn't it doesn't have and some, well, I don't know if he said it, but several people said it's it's not, it doesn't have to be a huge donation, like I have a regular small donation every month that goes to Advocates of Silence Turkey.
Oh, you do?
I do. Absolutely. And I gave also for Giving Tuesday, but it's the little bit every month. And, because I just so strongly believe that if one person does not have peace, then we all don't have peace. I absolutely believe that. I may have it a whole lot better here in the US than no matter how I feel about our present government that thankfully is leaving January 20th. But I still have, it is so different. I don't have to worry. I can say what I want, right? I can speak out against, that this is, I can say what you're doing is wrong, and when you can't, I don't know how to be quiet about that. I don't.
So you know the value of this freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and you can understand how it makes people feel or, are exposed to what kind of oppression when it's taken away. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can donate if you're watching on YouTube. Up at the top is a donate button to, click that. Again, you can even do small amount. I think mine's like $6 a month. I know $6 is not a huge amount of money, but oh, look, we're almost at 100,000. Sweet. Okay, that made my hour, that made my moment. But even that amount, it's just a little bit. So maybe for the month, I go one less latte from Starbucks. Like, is that really such a hardship? It's not. If it gives someone else hope that another day is coming, I'm happy to do that. I just got notified that we got our first donation from the country of Japan.
Wow, how many countries?
Over 40. We have Albania, Argentina, Australia, Belgium, Benin, which is in West Africa, Brazil, Canada, Cambodia, Chile, China, Costa Rica, England, Finland, France, Germany, Ghana, which is also West Africa, Iraq, Japan, Kazakhstan, Kenya, Kosovo, Laos, Mozambique, the Netherlands, Nigeria, North Macedonia, Norway, Peru, Poland, Romania, Slovakia, Switzerland, South Africa, Thailand, Taiwan, Tanzania, Turkey, Turkmenistan, United Arab Emirates, Vietnam. I had to read them all, Hafsa. I couldn't not.
You know what? This matters a lot. The number, the money, the amount, economic aspects of matters a lot, but also knowing that from more than 40 countries, we have contributors, we have supporters, that's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
We are, Kelly. There is sorry. Yeah,
no, say that again.
There is only one race, and it's the humanity, nothing more.
Well, you hear lots of people believe in the idea that all life is connected, is interconnected. So if that doesn't, add to that, I'm not sure what else,
No.
How else to, 40 different countries. So that's wonderful. We're almost at 100,000. We can do it.
We can do it. Yes, we can. Okay, so let's go on, Kelly. Since July 2016 failed coup attempt, hundreds of citizens, hundreds of Hizmet movement volunteers lost their lives in Turkey. This is brutal. Tens of inmates died in custody or in the Turkish prisons. And now we're going to speak about one of the most recent deaths, a suspicious death. Mustafa Kabakçıoğlu, he was a police officer expelled from his job by a statutory decree and he died in a solitary confinement cell on August 29, very recently. And the guards allegedly found him sitting alone on a chair, on a white chair, with his head dropped to the back. And he was suffering from diabetes, asthma, and high blood pressure. He was also, having severe health issues. And over the course of 4 years of imprisonment, he complained many times because of these insufficient health conditions. Thus, his death happens to be a suspicious case under these circumstances, obviously. And in the photographs taken after his death, Kabakçıoğlu is seen sitting on a white chair again, his head down, his nails bruised, his black shirt is dusty, and yet no one knows how it happened. After his death, hundreds of human rights activists organized peaceful protests in Europe, white chair protests, because of the white chair that he died on. And after the passing of Mr. Kabakçıoğlu on a passing away of Mr. Kabakçıoğlu on a white chair, plastic chair, this has become a symbol for victims in Turkish prisons. And therefore, volunteers of AST have come together on November 21st in 25 different cities across the US, across Canada, to artfully protest the atrocities committed against humanity within Turkey. So let's watch a video that was taken just during the protests, if it's ready.
I was struck by the name, the white chair protest, because when you see the chair, it's just one of those very simple, plastic picnic chairs that so many people have here in the US anyway, just in our backyards and stacked up in a corner. And they're just, there's two things about the plastic chair. One, it's a simple plastic chair, and all, when you talk about human rights and people having their human rights, not violated, it's a simple thing. Just treat humans like humans, respect and dignity. And then the flip side about that plastic chair, that white chair, is that here in the US, they're pretty disposable. They're a throwaway kind of thing.
Oh.
Right? And so it's this weird kind of, paradox of the white chair. So I think the image is exceedingly powerful, extremely powerful, because it's not throwaway, but that's often how that chair gets treated here in the US anyway. And I know that, I just rattled off 40 countries, so I know it's not like that everywhere, but a white chair.
This way, oh my God.
Well, those plastic white chairs also, they're very easy to overlook.
Yeah.
Because they're everywhere. But
Just
anyway.
lives of these dissidents, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So, yeah. I got on my little soapbox there. Sorry.
Okay.
So, but it's a powerful message, and hopefully the next time if you own any white chairs, picnic chairs, when you look at them, you can just, remember this and make a commitment to give of your time, to give of your talent, to give of your treasure.
Yeah.
So if you would like to donate, there's the link in the YouTube chat. You can do that. Yeah. You can go onto Facebook. There's in the description of the, if you have YouTube open, under the description itself are links.
You can find that. So we're coming to close the program. We're just, there. Almost there. And before the closure, I want to talk about a very important upcoming event that we have been working on more than a year. It's called Freedom Convention 2020. There are grave human rights violations in Turkey. AST will be organizing this convention for human rights activists, intellectuals, policymakers focused on human rights violations, particularly in Turkey. 30 experts and valuable speakers will attend the conference, hopefully, and they will not only learn or teach or tell about the ongoing violations and persecutions in Turkey, but also be able to develop strategies and recommendations to Turkish government and international bodies to end those grave violations through the panel discussions. In pursuit of justice and peace, this convention, this forum aims to bring hundreds of human rights defenders all over the world and activists together, also to foster the dynamics to mobilize. There are going to be 5 sessions in 2 days, and it's very important. This event will be held on the occasion of United Nations Human Rights Day. December 10th is the United Nations Human Rights Day. So on December 9th and December 10th, in 2 days, in 5 different panels, we will be covering freedom of speech and expression, collapse of rule of law, shift from democratization towards authoritarianism, which is very dangerous, and power, political violence and violations of minority rights, and most importantly, women's rights, violence against women. With huge prominent speakers, and we are looking forward to having you join us in this convention.
And where people can find out about it on social media, through Facebook, on your website?
Everybody can just register on the website, and when you are just closing the program, I want to share the screen to show how they can register, and also how they can donate through the website.
Okay.
So it's very easy to register the event.
Okay. So there's about freedom of speech and expression, the collapse of the rule of law, moving from the, I was intrigued, the democratization towards the authoritarianism in Turkey, and that shift. I would like to hear that. And rise of political Islam, women's rights in Turkey. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So I look forward to joining you. And I think, did you just pull that up there on the website?
Yeah, it's on the homepage under the Freedom Convention 2020. And you see that there is a link here for the registration. You can do that here.
Great.
And just we are here on the website. I want to show how we can donate through the website. On the homepage, there is this orange donate now button. You're just going to click on that, and you see there are options of the amounts, there are options of the payment types, kinds, ways. So all you can just do is to visit the website or to visit the Facebook page of AST through the Giving Tuesday, event.
Which we're actually going until December 5th.
Yes.
So while we're having this big live event tonight, you can give through, we started November 22nd and we're going through December 5th.
Yeah, my friend just notified me that he put the link to the Facebook, page to donate.
Yep.
You can find there on YouTube, the chat box, comments box.
Yes. Yeah. And all year round as well. But we're doing Giving Tuesday through December 5th. So we are at the end. I'm feeling really excited, and I'm feeling a little bit sad because I've really had a wonderful evening. Once again, I have the privilege of giving voice when I know there's so many that I want to know. I want anyone who is silenced, who is in Turkey and thinking that they've been forgotten. I want them to know that I have not forgotten them, that I hold them in my heart and in my hands by the work that I do.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And feeling among this huge family all around the world is powerful, it's very strong.
It is.
And I want to show something just before we're not going anywhere, you see?
No.
Let's do it.
Oh!
Let's do it 100,000. Come on,
we
guys.
are $80 away. $80.
I know you can do it later on, but before going away.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so wonderful. Oh, it's been such an honor to be among so many. If there was a list of everybody that helped make, this happen, Giving Tuesday, and I mean AST in general, but just if I, the little bit of the Giving Tuesday, it's hundreds of people. I have so many different WhatsApp groups for different parts of this that I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't keep up, which is a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
It's been an honor to be among so many motivated people, and and Laura talked about it earlier, people of integrity and working hard and brilliant.
Ooh, let me show you something. Good news.
Is it true?
And I don't know who did that, but thank you all, guys.
Thank you. Did we reach?
I'm relieved. No, you don't have it. Oh, sorry. Something else. Just sorry.
Whoops.
Oops. Sorry, I'm just very excited.
I know. We're so excited. We can't hit the right buttons.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, yay. Oh, that's wonderful.
Happy. I'm really happy. Just from the first moment of this program until this very last minute, I feel very privileged, very honored, humble, being with you, moderating with you, Kelly. This is an amazing privilege for me, but also feeling among this huge family. Thank you so much, everyone.
Well, and thank you to everyone from all those different 40 countries that gave, for those that will continue to give throughout the event through December 5th, and allowing us the time to let the world know more, shine more light on Advocates of Silence Turkey and what AST has done and will continue to do. I'm Reverend Kelly Isla, and it's a pleasure to do this with you, Hafsa. And we just want to thank everybody. I don't have a long list of names. I wish I did. Many of them are behind the scenes. Many of them have been, you and I have been on scene, but so many are off scene, pushing buttons and doing things. And we just want to thank you for your patience and your support tonight, and know that each one of you are blessed and you are a blessing.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Stay safe.
And I think we have one more video. I got a little note.
Yeah? One more video?
I think so. Someone sent me a little note. We had another video.
Oh, yeah.
Journalists, academics, public figures, activists, human rights defenders, and many other concerned citizens are getting together to speak up against the grave human rights violations in Turkey and raise awareness as well as hope on December 9-10, Freedom Convention 2020 by Advocates of Silence Turkey.
So have a wonderful, wonderful evening, everyone. Thank you, Hafsa.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.